I'd just be interested to get your take on whether you're a fan of demand gen or whether you've used it much so far.
I think demand gen can work well for some businesses. It would not work that well for others. Again, it depends on what's the business goal and what's the business budget. I think demand gen is something that requires quite a lot of investment. I think they look at, if I remember correctly, the formula, the way they work it out is they look at recent CPA in the account and they multiply that by 15, I think, and that's your daily budget that they suggest. So it's 15 times the CPA, and you have to test it at least I think for about 3 months to see the results. It can vary from Google Rep to Google Rep, but this is what they tend to say. So it's not very possible to do for some of the businesses that have very low budget. They want to maximize the efficiency. However, for businesses that are big companies and they want to do branding and they want to, as Google say, not just rely on the demand, but create the demand for their brand, it can be a good thing. And I think it can be a good thing if you strategically. So if you are, as a business, if you're planning a big sale and you have a couple of months coming up to that sale that you're building up for that sale for people to return and convert when the products are discounted, I think the margin can be that good extra step that puts your brand name in their mind. You can use lookalike audiences for demand gen, which is not available for other types of campaigns, to everyone's frustration, I believe. So you can be quite targeted and quite strategic with demand gen. So it can really work to create that buzz around your brand, as long as that buzz is leading somewhere. You don't just create it and then leave people high and dry without anything. So you either have to tie it up with increasing demand in general for that type of product. So for example, right now it's a glorious weather outside and I'm sure garden furniture sales are going through the roof. So if you start building that, let's say from March, and you go into April, and then in May, if you're selling outside furniture as a company, then yeah, you're catching that demand and you're creating the buzz around your brand that would be in play when that demand comes in. The same can be said before Black Friday, Christmas sales, Easter sales, a lot of different times of the year. So it just has to be strategic, I think, because the level of investment is relatively high, quite significant. So you have to lead those people somewhere. It has to be strategic, I'd say, and then it can work quite well.
15 times CPA, like that was the first time I've heard that, but yeah, it's not a low cost initiative anyway. Thanks for watching this clip from the Paid Media Lab. If you found it useful, you can get the full-length episode on the Lunio YouTube channel, where you can also subscribe to catch all our latest releases. And if you want free tools, reports, and guides to help you uplift the efficiency of your PPC campaigns, head to lunio.ai and click on the Resources tab in the nav bar. See you in the next one.